favorite band's Pink Floyd. It is. Animals is my favorite album, hands down.
Okay, we got to talk now. Can we pivot just a second?
Sure, yeah.
Let's talk Tails.
Today's Tales with Taylor guest is a FinOps-certified Cloud Analyst who works to understand cost drivers in public cloud and help mitigate those costs. He brings a unique blend of his real-world experience to his role. He's part economics, part engineer, and part FinTech evangelist. He is deeply engaged in the Scottsdale community and has served on many nonprofit boards and commissions. It's Kevin Maxwell.
Taylor, how are you?
How are you doing?
I am so thrilled to be in your new studio. It is beautiful.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have you here. You know, you're someone who has seen our journey of Financial Potion video marketing.
Right.
You know, tell me the tale of what you remember of one of our first projects together, how we first got connected.
Gosh, I don't even know the first project. I think it was when I was helping a company do these ice cream machines.
Yeah.
Was that it?
That was it. That
was
was
it too?
actually did you know you were our very first project in production as Financial Potion?
Is that right?
That is right.
I never would have known because you guys did such a great job that I would have think that you guys had years and years of experience.
Oh, thank you.
Because it turned out so great. And we worked on several projects since then. I always recommend you guys to people when they're looking for some video production. But so yeah, we worked together a long time and we're happy to relive that. But I just want, the studio is so beautiful. And driving over here, I knew that Eric would have great equipment and stuff installed. But what's striking me is how much of your personality is injected into the space. I mean, you could tell that this is Taylor's space.
Okay, thank you.
Just by the little nuances,
right?
little stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you're enjoying the space and that you could feel that, because we definitely thought long and hard, and it took us a while to, you know, finalize our decisions here. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for coming here. And, you know, although this is in Mesa and you're in Scottsdale, luckily we're still part of the valley. So
and
we're
it's
still
close. You know what? You guys are kind of West Mesa. I'm in South Scottsdale. So it's really not that far, really.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, that's the one beautiful thing about the valley. I've had the pleasure of living here since 2009, and I have fallen in love with the valley. Tell me some tales on why you love, and in particular, Scottsdale.
Yeah.
On why you love it so much.
Oh boy. Well, living in Scottsdale is like it's the best of everything because it's it seems like a small town where a lot of people know each other and the community is very involved. And when you know some people, I mean, it's a tight-knit community. But yeah, we're 280,000 people and we're in a metroplex here where we have 4 million. So we have all best of both worlds. We have all professional sports franchises if you want to go see that.
Other
we have
than
big
hockey.
name concerts. Yeah, than hockey. I should forgot about that. But no, we have all the great events. So it's like living it's the best of both worlds. Live in a small town community, you get all the benefits of people knowing each other, people caring about one another, people looking out for each other. You get that, which you know from being in a different community.
Yeah.
But Scottsdale offers that, but then we still have all the benefits of living in a big metroplex as well.
Scottsdale is so beautiful. It's definitely one of those places where, you know, before coming to Arizona, I had never visited Arizona. I literally researched it and said I can afford it, and I like that there's no snow unless I plan on visiting the snow.
Exactly.
And with Scottsdale, it is really fun that you can go from old town, you know, little art museums, have something to bite to eat, to then feel like you're truly in the middle of the desert when you go, you know, to the preserves up north.
Right.
You know, it's such a beauty. And I just really thank the Scottsdale residents for just like keeping those kind of different feels.
Yeah. Scottsdale, now I'm going to start doing it now. The McDowell Snoring Preserve is really a crown jewel of Scottsdale that the residents are very proud of. And if people don't know, if your audience doesn't know, it's a 30,000 acre preserve that's set right in the middle of metropolitan Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And years ago, the city council and the city leaders decided, you know, we don't want to have density everywhere. We want to have some open space, kind of like Central Park, right? So they could have developed that, and developers made a lot of money on it, but they intentionally set that aside for future generations so that we could have that desert feel. And now, you know, lots and lots of people come here and go to the preserve for hiking and all kinds of things. It's really nice to have that.
It's so gorgeous, especially in this state where you can truly hike, you know, depending on how early you want to get started, almost all throughout the year. But, you know, maybe we take a couple of years off or a couple months off for the summer. But, you know, you have year-round hiking weather here in Arizona.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you know, this past election we had last week, there was a ballot initiative on the ballot that allocates some more money to make sure the preserve is protected and can expand, or is make sure that it's protected for future enhancements, because the revenue that originally built that was set to expire.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
The residents once again stepped up and said, we want this. We want to make sure it's done the right way. So
excellent. Well, thank you, Scottsdale residents.
Yeah.
And obviously you love Scottsdale so much. You have a whole podcast dedicated to Scottsdale. So tell me a little bit about that podcast.
Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale is a podcast we've been doing for coming up on 3 years now. We've got 150 episodes coming up. And what we do is we like to do kind of like what you do. We tell positive stories of Scottsdale. So there's so many cool things that are going on, not only with the city, but with residents doing cool things, right? So we want to highlight those. For example, a couple of episodes ago, we had a lady and her husband who make orthopedics for pets, right?
Wow,
so they make like leg harnesses and braces for pets, because sometimes if a pet, tears an ACL or something like that, it's very expensive to do that, and it may not be able, the owner may not be able to be in position to do that. So these folks make orthopedics for pets, which is really unique. It's not a lot of people who do that. Done right there in Scottsdale. We've had authors on, artists on, all kinds of positives. Our only rule is you have to be living or have something to do with Scottsdale, and you have to be having a positive impact on the community. So another example, we had on a lady recently who works with the police department, who does outreach for seniors and impact, and also for small kids. She's going into the schools and doing a lot of education to make sure that the students know that the police are there to help us and to benefit us. But she was also unique because she's from Brazil. She was on the original Brazilian women's soccer team. Oh, wow. She won a silver medal. I mean, right? So it's pretty cool. And she's living in Scottsdale. So we wanted to share her experience. We have some authors on, so talk about that. So it's a lot of fun. Meet somebody different every week.
That's amazing that you have like just such a fun collective of people within Scottsdale, and that it is a mixed variety from artists to inventors and everything in between. Because you're right, it is a big city, but it definitely has that small town feel to it.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. So where can people see this podcast, and how often are you posting on that podcast?
Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale, obviously available on all the major channels, Spotify and Apple iTunes. Also, thanks to you guys, on our new YouTube channel as well. Yes. So Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale, and our new YouTube channel is beautiful. Thank you to you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And we love to help you, especially because, like you said, you only want to focus on stories that are positive, that are giving back, and that's the same thing here. We want to make the world a better place and a more beautiful, more positive place. Because we
talk to politicians occasionally. We're not a political show for sure, but we have had politicians on, but we kind of make sure they want to talk about the positive things for Scottsdale. There's so many places where you can get news and other things like that. So we don't need to replicate that. There's so many of that media out there. But if you're doing something really cool and positive in Scottsdale, we want to talk to you, and our audience wants to hear from you.
Excellent. So what's the tale you want people to tell about Scottsdale if they were to visit Scottsdale and then tell someone about it?
Oh, boy. Well, obviously, we have millions of visitors that visit Scottsdale every year because of the golf, the restaurants, as you mentioned, the art galleries, the culture, the music scene we have going on there. There's so much going on in Scottsdale. We have the resorts that can accommodate those visitors as well. So we have this the best of everything. We have the Cactus League baseball that goes on, where we have all these baseball teams that come in the springtime. The Waste Management Professional Golf Tournament happens in Scottsdale. That's a huge event. Barrett Jackson.
They're still going to come back after
last year.
A few years ago.
Yeah, last year they had a few kinks with the rain, and it's getting too crowded. I know that Waste Management and the Thunderbirds who run that the event have taken a lot of action to make sure that they've kind of drawn it a little bit, and we still have the crowds to still go out there and enjoy the event as before, but there are a little bit of curbs and boundaries in place to make sure it doesn't get crazy like it has in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But we had Barrett Jackson, so we had just so many. The Arabian Horse Show is in Scottsdale. So many great signature events that it's just come to Scottsdale. You're going to find something for you.
Definitely. One of my dreams, and I'm still working on it, and I'm still going to do it. This is going to happen. Y'all hearing it. One of my dreams has always been to take my dad to the Barrett-Jackson auction and buy him a car. Like I want to buy
you wanna buy a car?
I want to buy him a car.
And
so that is my goal.
Have you been before?
I have not been because I'm going to go when we're buying a car. Like that's also
so
my thing.
you don't want to go and just look around?
No.
You want to go when you buy a car?
When we're buying a car. And that is always my goal. I know he loves like the old like 1960 Challengers and things. Those are his favorites. So that's been always a goal of mine. So I want to buy him a car.
If you go on Monday or Tuesday, that's when, if you know, it goes for a week long. On the first couple of days, the cars are kind of moderately priced.
Okay.
I mean, you can
I really never knew this insider information.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you only see on TV where you see the multi-million-dollar cars and those, the really rare cars that go for $800,000 and plus. But no, if you go on Mondays, they have really nice cars that can sell from anywhere from 30 to 40,000.
Okay.
So it's like
actually, okay, because I was definitely like I needed to get $1 million in cash in a duffel bag.
No, you can go and get a car for less than that.
Interesting. Okay, I might need to think about that then. Yeah, that's always because we used to watch it even back east. We would watch it together, my dad and I. And
now, is he a car guy then?
He just likes old muscle cars. So I grew up with having like a 1965 Mustang in my life.
Oh, okay.
So he definitely likes his muscle car. It stopped working very well. So he used, a Subaru as his day car. We lived in an HOA location.
Okay.
The HOA got the car towed.
No way.
Yes, because they said it wasn't being moved enough.
Right.
He would prove it could work. He would move it, and it would always stay in guest parking spots.
Had to be in running order, probably.
Well, they said that it had to be in the RV lot. He would apply every year to go to the RV lot. He'd always get denied to have it be in the RV lot.
Really?
So what were we supposed to do?
Yeah.
We always kept it in guest parking spots.
Yeah.
He would move it periodically.
Oh, man.
And one fine day, it got towed, and it's just...
So he got it back?
No. He didn't want to pay to have to get it back. At that time, he said, I'm afraid it's just going to get towed again. And, the HOA person lived in our little area and was like, if I get it back, it's just going to get towed again. And he just felt defeated. And he says he's still seen it at the junkyard in Maryland.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So he let a 65 Mustang go and didn't recover it because
and
it
it's
was
just...
I
know it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, and that's why I'm just like I need to, whether it be the Mustang or he's always said he's like the Challenger. It's like I need to do this. Like it's a goal of mine. Yeah.
Oh, Taylor, I hope that happens for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to be there. If it happens, let me know.
I'll let you know. I'll be like, hey, we're gonna go on Tuesday. Let's do this.
Oh, let's go. I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, I know. It'll be amazing. Yeah. So
the people watching at Barrett-Jackson is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Because you see them on TV, right, and those bidders, and like you'll be sitting next to a guy who looks like he may not. What's the new word we're calling it? Non-homed. If you're homeless, right? Homeless is the old term.
Oh, yes.
We're calling people non-home now, right? So you'll be sitting next to somebody and they don't look like they have any wealth to them at all. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're bidding on a multi-million-dollar car.
Oh, yeah.
And like right down to the very end where they're doing it. And it's like, wow, whoever knew, right?
Totally. You cannot judge people from how they look. I feel like, of people whom I've had the opportunity of meeting, like I've met like an early investor in Nike. Yeah, he was just in like a plain, you would have guessed he got a shirt from Walmart and some like sweatpants.
Right.
But sometimes when you've made it, you can be comfortable.
I know. Well, look at all the tech people we know, right? They're doing that, right? So you can't tell anymore.
You can't tell anymore. And I think that's better that way. Just let people be people.
Yeah.
And so if someone was going to come to Scottsdale, what would be like your top suggestions of like where to go, where to eat?
Well, I'm a golfer, so there's just so many great golf courses to go in Scottsdale. Talking Stick and Kierland are my favorites. True North, we have, the Greyhawk. I can go on, and all those have some really good restaurants. But there's some really good restaurants in Scottsdale. I want to try to think of a new one that has popped up that I can share with you. But the Fox restaurants are always good. P.F. Chang's, which has been there for a long time, is always a good one. Lots of Dominic's is there, right? So very, very good. Lots of good steakhouses in Scottsdale.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then do you know if I know that there is some farming in Arizona. Do any of the steakhouses actually get their cows and beef from Arizona?
I think they're
farms?
locally sourced. Yeah. I know that F&B, Charlene Badman is a famous chef. And I know that I think she gets her stuff locally sourced. We had Bo McMillan, who's a famous chef, who's been on Iron Chef and been on the Food Network a couple times. We had him on our podcast, and he runs a restaurant called Kavala. I think I pronounced that right, Kavala. And he used to be the Sanctuary, and so now he's got a new property, and they serve amazing food, and I believe that's all locally sourced as well. So yeah,
excellent. They were guests on your podcast.
They were guests on my podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if people want to get a better idea of really the restaurant owners that are in Scottsdale, definitely take a look at Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale and learn more about
And we
that.
also had a guy on recently who runs a barbecue catering operation who's won multiple awards at national barbecue festivals. Luton Booty. Luton Booty is the name of his company. He used to be a financial planner, and then his love for barbecue took over, and he turned that into a career. Another great story, right?
Yeah.
Here's a guy who's trained to manage wealth for people and decided he's wanted to abandon that job because his passion for barbecue is so great, and now he's gone on and been successful at barbecue.
That's amazing too, because normally when you think about like the restaurant business or like the food industry, it's one of the most risky industries to get in. And here's someone who is doing finances, and it's like, yep, I'm going to do it because they were that passionate, and that just proves to like passion can overcome.
And speaking of finances, and somebody who I won't say abandoned, but pivoted their career, we interviewed another guy on the Day and Tomorrow in Scottsdale recently who was also a financial planner or had a degree in finance and was working for a large CPA firm and didn't like it and decided that he wanted to do composting. So he started a composting business where he brings you a bucket every week and you fill that up with all your compost, and then you set it out, and he comes back and replaces it, and then takes that compost that you give him and goes and makes his organic farms. And
that's here in Scottsdale?
Well, he does it. His farm is actually in Phoenix.
Okay,
but he has a Scottsdale business where all of his clients are in Scottsdale. He started off with just himself in a pickup truck, and now he's got like 8 or 9 different vehicles that run around and pick up from subscribers compost every day.
That's amazing.
It's really a cool business. Yeah,
I love that. As someone who does compost at
right,
home,
I know. I figured you probably would.
Yeah, I love hearing that. Excellent.
Yeah,
I'll have to look up that episode and see more about that.
I'll get you some more information about it.
Okay, excellent.
Is like composting hard at your house?
No, so we use Bokashi composting, and so Bokashi, it's an organization actually out of Texas. It's a microorganisms that you basically add to your compost. It eats it away a little bit more.
Okay.
Then you let it like ferment for 2 weeks once your bucket is full. Then I literally just dig a hole, dump it into the hole, cover the hole, and then it turns into this like black gold soil.
Right. And you can grow anything there probably, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. All right, we'll have to get you the information about it.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to just hear about it.
That's fascinating. That whole thing about, I don't know anything about organic farming or anything.
It's amazing. Because then even when you open the compost bin, after it's been fermented, you're like, there's like, like black soldier flies are like growing, and you're like, how is there life out of this? Like, it's just so interesting. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The world's amazing. And so, in a less nature world of tech and cloud, tell me, what was the tale that got you to that career? What guides you there? Obviously, we all didn't start with computers in our hands. Well, now kids are starting with computers in their hands. But
your kids are, I bet.
It's amazing. It's sad, how good my 2-year-old is at navigating things.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And they have all the technology, I bet, right?
Oh yeah. No, they even she even loves using this little toy camera we have, and she's just so good even getting things in frame. She's better than my mom at getting a headshot. Yeah.
Really? Getting some good shots, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm sure they'll be working for Lotion pretty soon, huh?
Oh yeah, we already have. James has been on camera a few times, so he's already on-screen talent. He's helped us set up, a light pole before. So James, we've already gotten James a financial. He has a Financial Potion T-shirt, so he's official crew member.
Okay. He's a crew member for sure. Yeah.
Gotta get you a T-shirt.
Yeah. So going back to your original question is how do I get involved in cloud finances? I've always been in tech, as you know. I was doing websites and things like that before, and consulting with people. And then I always had it. When I was in school. I studied economics. So cloud financial management is a perfect blend for me because I get to talk to engineers. I can talk about technology, but I'm also talking about how to spend less when you migrate to the cloud. Because that can escalate very, very quickly. Everybody talks about how easy it is to get to the cloud and how AWS and Google and Azure are making it easier to launch applications in the cloud, which is true. But unless you're careful about what you're doing, you can find out your costs can spin out of control really, really quickly. So that's kind of what I do. It's just a perfect job for me because it's a perfect blend of two of my passions.
And then if only then you can drum about it when you're having a meeting with them,
exactly.
right? Then that would add the next passion.
I have a lot of hobbies for sure. I have a lot of hobbies for sure. Yeah, I recently took back up drumming and playing drums after a long absence when I used to do it when I was little and when I was in college. I took a long, long break. But that's one thing about being a little bit older and having a little bit of disposable income. You can kind of buy yourself some toys. So
right, get back into some passions, and you're good. You're a rocker.
I bought myself a nice kit, and I've been playing again and set up a little studio in my house and been trying to get back into music again.
Are you looking to join a band or?
I would, but it's just so funny when you get to be my age and professionally when we're busy. Like I want a band that plays like once a month for beer money on weekends, right?
There you go.
That, right? I'm not looking to go on the road or cut albums or anything like that. And I don't want to work every single weekend, but yeah, if I could find a little jam band that played a gig once a month or once every other couple of months, that'd be a perfect situation for me. Yeah.
Okay, so if you bassist, guitarist, vocalist, if you need a drummer here for just once a month for some beer money, all right.
I've been practicing. So,
excellent. Some pizza and beer. Let's do it. Yeah. That is awesome. That is awesome. So, what are some of your favorite songs to play?
I'm a classic rock guy. So from the 80s, I like Styx and Boston and Kansas and all those classic 80s bands is typically what I gravitate to. But, whatever.
Can you guess what James's favorite song is?
Your son, James.
Yeah,
the 5-year-old.
Yes, the 5-year-old. What the 5-year-old's favorite band, I would say, because there's a couple from them that he absolutely loves. What do you think his favorite band is?
Judging how you're phrasing it, it's got to be an 80s band, I would imagine then. So I'll just go ahead and say Styx.
Close. So there's probably two. Journey, Def Leppard.
Okay, there you go.
Journey and Def Leppard, his two favorites.
Is that because you guys are playing around the house all the time, or what?
Well, we would always just play like eclectic music between, because my favorite band's Pink Floyd.
It is?
It is. Animals is my favorite album, hands down.
Okay, we got to talk now. Can we pivot just a second?
Sure, yeah.
Have you been to Brit Floyd yet? Have you seen Brit Floyd?
I have not. I've been to Roger Waters twice.
Okay, was that good?
Oh, amazing. The last one was the Whole Wall album. They used LCD screens to build the wall, then we tear down the wall. It was excellent.
Oh man. Okay, well because every year I go Brit Floyd. Have you heard of Brit Floyd though?
Is that a cover band, I'm assuming? Or?
But they're authorized and endorsed by Roger Waters, not by David Gilmour.
Okay.
David Gilmour authorizes and works with them and gives them those resources.
Now we continue talking.
And they come every single year in June.
Okay.
And I go and every year I drag somebody different to the show.
Okay. Well,
and they always love it, but they never want to go again. So every year I'm always looking. I don't know, but they just, I don't know. They say they love it, but then I don't know. For Pink Floyd, it's kind of eclectic, right? You don't see that many Pink Floyd fans. And I have a hard time every year of getting someone to go. So now I know you want to go.
Oh,
we're going to go.
And I'm also one of those people who will love, I love Roger Waters, Pink Floyd, and I love David Gilmour. I still love the Division Bell. I still think that's a great album.
I've been listening to Division Bell again. A couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
the whole thing
it's so good.
Reacquainting myself with that. Okay, I am so excited.
Yes, well, let's do it. It's a date. We're doing it, definitely.
All right.
I love that.
They just get announced. They announced some North American tour dates through the spring. They haven't gotten up till the summer. Typically, they come to Phoenix in the summer. Typically, it's in June. It could be different. But
I've always just poo-pooed cover bands for some reason, but if it's authorized by David Gilmour, it has my
Taylor,
blessing.
I'm telling you, you can close your eyes and you would not be able to tell the difference. If you know the music like I know you do, close your eyes and I challenge you to tell me the difference and to tell me it's not Pink Floyd on stage right now.
Oh, okay, I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
All right, I didn't know that about you.
Yes.
I've known you all these years. Had I known, we would have been in multiple concerts together.
Man, okay. Well, we got to make up for old, past time then. We definitely have to, because that's, Pink Floyd forever has been my love and has been my favorite band. And so
maybe
I think
James will get into Pink Floyd. I mean, his being
he does like Pink Floyd. Yeah, he it's not as much, I think, because I think there's a lot more music,
Yeah.
you know? And so for me, like, I love really good music. Yes,
Right.
lyrics are great, but it's like, I think Pink Floyd has that beautiful blend where you can just listen to those solos and just like feel the music.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah.
Oh, that's what I don't know that about you. I'm so excited now. We have another thing in
excellent.
common.
This will be a lot of fun. Excellent.
Yeah.
So tell me some tales of like some tales that you've read or watched that either inspired you or just really entertained you. So your favorite books or movies?
I've been reading this guy named Amar Tolles recently. He's kind of a newer author.
Okay.
Did you see the thing? I think it was on Showtime. No, it might have been A Gentleman in Moscow.
No, I
Heard about it. Anyway, he wrote this book called Gentleman in Moscow a few years ago, and it's interesting. It was about this guy, an aristocrat in Moscow, who got caught up in the Bolshevik Revolution, and he had all this wealth. And then when the revolution happened, he has to live in a hotel, and it was it was a really good story. They made it into a miniseries. I think it was on Showtime. Anyway, but I've been reading his other books, and so Amar Tolles is my author I've been reading a lot lately. Okay. If you haven't read him, I encourage people to check it out. Okay. He wrote my first book. I read a short story that he wrote for a science fiction book, which is a compilation. So it was really good. So Amar Tolles is something I'm really excited about. He just wrote a book recently, so it got done. So I'm anxiously waiting for his next book, but it may be another 6 to 8 months till something new comes out. So Amar Tolles, I'm listening to a lot lately. I listened to this new band called Lawrence the other day. Okay. They're out of New York. It's a brother-sister duo. They kind of play jazz funk music, and they are so incredibly talented. And I think they got 4 albums out. And isn't it funny how stuff like Spotify can turn you on to something?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of them before, and they already have 4 albums out, so I feel like I'm behind. I've been listening to this group called Lawrence, and I've listened to them all day, every day. I'm calling my friends, and you got to listen to this.
I'm going to check it out.
I'm super passionate about Lawrence. I think her name is Gabby P, or is the sister is the singer, and she is incredible. Nice. So anyway, I've been kind of excited about that lately.
Very nice, Lawrence.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see a movie tonight. I'm gonna go see the movie no, it's not called Confident. I'm gonna say Confident. Conclave. Okay. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
Yeah,
no.
It's about the how the Catholic Church chooses the next pope and all the intrigue behind it, and so there's some really good actors in that. John Lithgow's in it, so I'm excited to go see it tonight. Yeah,
nice.
Should be an Academy Award winner, I think already.
There you go.
We'll see. So yeah, those are the things I'm passionate about right now.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, as we come to a close, I'd love to know if you were to write a book about, yourself or something that you would want to leave to people, what would be the title of that tale? The title of the tale. Here comes Kevin Maxwell. I guess. I don't know. I just drum roll, please.
Yeah, I like to say I'm a modest guy. I think my Twitter handle is just I'm a civic hacker living in Scottsdale. So really, like you said, you mentioned earlier, one thing I didn't talk about today is all my involvement in boards and commissions and stuff like that, right? So I'm super involved in Boys and Girls Club, Family Promise, which is a homeless shelter, the Scottsdale Foundation, which helps raise money for school districts. So I'm involved in a lot of different boards. I just love giving back, and I love my community. And the more my community gives to me, the more I want to give back to my community. Love it, love it. Yeah. So what can we do to give back to you, or what should people be doing to help out Scottsdale more and help out the community? Just come visit and give us, come visit and patronize our stores and our shops and our hotels and stuff like that. You can do that, but even if you're not, come to Scottsdale. If you're in Phoenix or Mesa's great too. I've been hanging out a lot downtown Mesa recently, right? Oh, it's been really, I feel like they've really been renovating it, and just some of the food down there is so good. Tacos, Chivas. I know, those were the tacos I had, those Chivas tacos. I love those. I make special trips down there. So give back to your community, engage in your community. How about Gus's Chicken? You been to Gus's Chicken? I'm vegetarian. Oh, that's right. So. That's right. I have been telling Eric he needs to go there though. Yeah. Gus's Chicken. There's lots of good stuff in Mesa too. But anyway. Engage in your community, patronize your community, and we'll all build it up together. Yep, shop local and stay positive and learn about other positive stories on Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale. Exactly. There's so much to be down about. There's so many good positives. Let's just go and talk about them. Yeah, we don't have time to be down. Let's just be happy, positive, and think forward. Forward thinking, future thinking. So thank you so much, Kevin. This was such a pleasure. I had such a good time today. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Well, see you next time.
Thank you for watching Tales with Taylor. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Financial Potion YouTube channel to never miss an episode.